and you know what? It's just been a slightly chaotic time.
Yes.
I've been busy. You've been busy.
I know. I've been
Everybody's
watching.
busy.
I've been amazed by some of your artwork you've been doing. Is that like a blast from the past? Like, do you remember having to build models like that? Like,
It did take me back to the days. You know what I was doing? I was building a cockroach motels. In fact, I just finished building another 20 of them.
oh my god. Yeah, it looked like kind of. Well, I think it'd probably be easy because you can do a bunch at a time. Like, do the same thing, right? Just do one thing.
Right. Well, basically, you know what? I'll tell you the process is I take I I have I get them like 24 at a time. I unwrap them, and I have to tell you that when you have 24 of them and they are open, all in the same
Oh
house,
god.
the
I can
fucking
imagine.
smell,
Yeah.
the smell, because they have a strip in them. They have like two strips of an odor, and the odor is what can I say? It's sort of ooh, the homeless. It's just horrible.
Right.
And the process is I jerk them apart, and there's this little cling and jerk that you do that if you grab the box and you find the seam and you just go pop like that, and you pop it real hard, and the whole thing just flattens out, right?
Yeah.
And now it's flat, and I have to put the goo in because the goo that used to have color in them doesn't have color
Oh
anymore.
really?
Well, yeah, because I mean, the thing is, if you're killing roaches, you know, and all it is it's kind of it's like a 3M post-it note, only really thick and gooey, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I swear you get your finger on it, and it is really hard to get your finger back off. I mean, every once in a while, I ruined a trap just because, it's like, oh no, I got my finger stuck. Oh no, I got my hand stuck trying to unstick my finger, and how to get my elbow in there? Oh, my hair, and then it's like 10 minutes later, and you have this little shredded box, and you're like trying to pick things out of your face and shit. But thing is then you have to. So I put two little pieces of tape over the stinky thing, and then I put a piece of a gel that kind of looks like the goo that we used
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
on one half of it, and then I trim back all of the little tabs so that the opening's a little bit wider. So because the opening folds back in. Well, if I trim those tabs, then it's a little bit wider and you can actually see in. Then I reassemble it, and then I glue the roach in. And of course, I'm doing this all like factory style,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Assembly line.
It's assembly
I thought
line
you had
stuff.
your grandchildren helping.
No,
Okay, put the cockroaches in.
I did 24 of them in 3 hours.
Oh my god.
I mean, because then the next thing is that then you have to glue the roach on,
Yeah.
right? And then you glue the roaches in all of them, and then you take and we've made this prints on vellum of the eye,
Right. Yeah.
and then you cut them out and you glue them on, trim them, and then put the feet on them. And it's taken me 3 hours to do 24 of them.
Whoa. You might have a future. In fact, I was thinking about how you could probably work on Godzilla, or I mean, you make models, right?
Yeah, to make models. Yeah, yeah. But the thing it also reminded me that you have to remember that this is years and years and years of model making. Because I also did when I wasn't in production designing, I was making models all the time of all. Like I used to work with Mark Stetson, and I did some of his commercials because I could come in for like 6 days and do a miniature for a commercial, and then once you were the one that keyed that through, then you would be the one to take it to the commercial. I remember I actually was on the set with a miniature that I built of an entire court. What do they call it? Basketball court, right? In miniature, and I went to shoot it, and we were. it was Dave Robinson was the guy who
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and the great thing was that he was learning how to play alto sax, and I was showing him licks on the alto sax. I was
Wow.
showing him how to, which was really funny. I mean, it was like it was interesting. He was such a nice guy. Dave Robinson is a really really sweet guy. Hey Dave, how you doing out there? I'm sure that you watched the show.
Oh,
I'm so sure of it.
I'm sure
But,
he's one of our followers, our 37 followers on YouTube.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he was really good. He's a really nice guy. But in doing those miniatures and all the props that I've done over the years, I was making. I always made little factories. I mean, factories for one thing and another. But the miniatures on Godzilla were really good.
Yes, they
And
were.
can I just say that? Okay, go ahead and tell the folks which film we're doing here.
I think we've already let the cat out of the bag.
Oh, you think?
Oh, I did have one question though. Like, I mean, wasn't it common to make models for movies, even if you weren't going to use them in the movie, like to kind of set a scene, or like as a production designer, weren't you building models all the time to kind of like, here's how I want it to look, and then
No, we were making maquettes.
okay,
Now a maquette,
okay,
a maquette and a model are two different elements.
gotcha. See.
Think about this for a minute. We would film a model because a model is the final is the end product, right?
Yep. Yeah.
But a maquette, which I made so many maquettes in my life, I can't even remember. But a maquette is something that you make as a representation of something that you are going to build.
Okay.
You know, I actually
Kind of like a mock-up. Is that kind of like?
It's a mock-up. Yeah, I was going to say you can make a maquette of a model that you're going to make.
That just sounds like extra work.
Yeah, no shit, really? Am I telling you right here? Yes, absolutely. No.
I used to do spec ads when I was in advertising, and I'd always do spec ads, but I'd always make sure that I told the artist the wrong phone number.
Yeah.
So when the person was looking at it, they're like, "Oh, I love this ad, but we need to change the phone number." And as soon as they said we need to change this, I knew it was sold.
Well, one thing that you definitely found is you found I met an awful lot of people that have multiple phone numbers. You know,
Right.
Oh yeah, a phone number for when the set calls at 3 a.m.
Well, yeah, of course.
In fact, I have to tell you the truth. I remember showing up in the morning on a set. I honestly, I think it was probably on Freddy's Nightmares, and it was completely different than the drawings.
Oh, really?
And I was like, wow. And the funny thing is it was very rare that I actually went home long enough, for something to be built so that I wouldn't recognize it in the morning. But I think I think I actually got it. I was just exhausted. Got off the set early, and by early I mean like 10 o'clock at night. And in the morning, sure enough, I just turned my recorder on. By the way, in the morning I woke up.
Right.
I got there to the set, at like 10, because usually I went late and stayed like till 3 a.m. And I got there and it was different. I mean, just completely different from what I had drawn. And that certainly happened a lot, but usually I was more aware of it. And I said, well, I can't believe this. Why didn't you people call me? And they go, well, why do you think it looks like it does?
Oh, that's awesome.
And so basically, and the thing is after a while you do get to the point to where you can answer a phone at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, hello, how's it going? I mean,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It's like
Well, look, if any director was calling me to hire me, I'd be like, hello?
hello,
No matter what time of day it was.
I mean, the thing is you don't ever want to pick up the phone incompetently.
Right.
You don't ever want to pick up the phone and go,
or what do you want, asshole?
So you, hello, how's it going? And they ran all these changes past me, and I said, oh, okay, well, let's do that. Oh, that sounds great. Oh, you know what? That bang bang, let's do that. And then I went right back to sleep, and or I just kept sleeping. Right. Because I was pretty sure I was answering the phone, and art directing. You know what? Art directing while asleep can be problematic.
I imagine it'd be problematic to do that while you're on LSD too, probably. But
yes. However, I'm going to say that I worked on. I remember that occasionally the sound guy on Tales from the Dark Side used to come up to me and goes, "Man, I am crying. I am so far." And the great thing about it is he says I can get the mic right over their head and right out of frame, and it's like as they move I can see the frame move with them.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, you know what, if you've ever fried before, all you could do is nod your head and go, oh yeah, I know.
Wow, he was seeing the actual frame. That's amazing. Well, I saw this cool video on YouTube. It was I don't know why. It was one of those rabbit holes I go down sometimes on YouTube, but this was cool. Yeah. It was like LSD, artist drawing on LSD.
Oh my God!
Over 8-hour periods. So Did you see that?
Cool. Oh, I have seen that. That is so cool. It's like he devolves into like the coolest freaking series of drawings you've ever seen. You know, the very first drawing, you go, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's not much of an artist. He was, you know, it's sort of like very architectural and
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
you know, and then the drawings just get way good and way out there. You know, I mean, boy, you know what? And here's the thing. That's exactly what acid does. Is it strips you to the core of your talents. You know, it really does. It's like the things that you're really good at. It has a tendency to like kind of you start separating those out, and those things rise to the forefront.
Wow, Dr. Timothy Leary with us today. Anyway,
hey, it's not like I don't know the nature of the problem.
Right, that's true.
God damn, you know what I'm Jerry Garcia resurrected.
You are.
I can't believe it. I've seen him in interviews before, and it's like when he gets this kind of right there, you know, it's like, wow, shit.
Wow.
And he used to do this with his glasses all the time. Do this, you know, my forehead doesn't wrinkle quite like his did, but you know, you do what you can.
Well, there you go.
So back to the film.
Gojira.
Oh my God!
It was Gojira. That's what the original title was. Gojira.
Gojira. Yeah, Gojira. And this is the one before the one that everybody has seen. This is the one that was before the. This is 2 years before the first Godzilla that was released in America.
Yes. Well, wasn't it the same film just re-edited and destroyed?
I think it was, well, yeah.
Because I haven't seen this I haven't seen the Godzilla for a very long time, but I've only seen the American version.
For very good. I think that basically what we've seen here is this is the original film complete.
Yes.
And the other one, they took all the monster scenes out of this one.
Yes.
And used them on the 1956 version and just refilmed a story that centers around what's his name?
Well, I think it was roughly the same. They just re-edited it and took everything out that had to do about atomic energy, I think.
Right.
Because it was
who's the guy that's the director? That's the token white person in the 1956 version.
Oh God, I don't know. I can find out.
Well, come on. He played Perry Mason.
Raymond Burr.
Raymond Burr was in it.
Well, what I was looking at, I probably should have researched this, but I think he was doing the Americanized version where they took the original and re-edited it and then did voice. I've only heard that one with all the voices of weird voices on it.
Right. The bad voices. Yeah. That this is of course this is the original one. This is all.
Yeah. This has everything in it. It has all. I mean, atomic radiation is all up in this bitch. It's all over the place.
And the thing is that the scientists are showing compassion for the beast.
Well, let's read the description first before we.
Okay. Well,
we'll get into the compassion in a second, but like I think the description's kind of lame because it says American nuclear weapons testing results in a creation of seemingly unstoppable dinosaur-like beast. Well, I think there's an alternative description. Yeah. I think it's more. I think I'd be like, hey, this is a misunderstood. This poor guy is misunderstood. Godzilla just wanted to take a bath. People started shooting him with missiles. He wanted to take a little stroll, and he kept running into the electrical towers by accident. He tripped on a couple houses, and he's bad. Really, come on.
But
anyway,
getting into that the H bomb.
Yes.
Was shaking his waking him up from his slumber.
His house, like, yes. It ruined his house, actually, didn't it?
His house, yeah. I wanted to put it in perspective. Let me put it to you this way: it's a cry to the Americans.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's a cry to why are you still testing? Because you're still testing in the Pacific at the time. We continued to test until 1962.
Yeah.
Open air in the Pacific, open water. We started in 1946. So this was filmed in 1954. So this
and it's not that long after Hiroshima and
right.
Nagasaki.
So the destruction. The destruction is very personal here. So this is 8 years of nuclear testing, and they were in for another 8 years of nuclear testing at this juncture. So
well, you can tell just from the two opening scenes, the first two scenes. The tone is really dark. I mean, even the look is dark. It's kind of like Citizen Kane almost. Like I don't know if I.
Oh, absolutely.
And we were looking at a good quality copy, I think. Too, by the way.
Yeah, well, it's the Criterion Collection. It's as good as you can get. I mean, and I have to say the look of the film is so superior to the look that of the one that came later. I mean, the segments that they shot with Raymond Burr were very, thrown together, and it really looked it, but. There was a laboratory in this one.
Yes,
that was just awesome to see.
And you're a bad scientist if you have an eye patch.
Yeah, man, you're a badass scientist is what you are. And the very careful burning. And did you notice this is that when he burns his papers, to hide the secrets of the poison that
the oxygen destroyer, whatever they called it.
Destroyer. When he burns the paper, he carefully burns them one at a time. It's not like he throws a book away so that somebody jumps in and like grabs the book out and brushes it away. That's good because 9/10 of it is here. No, he does it one page at a time.
I thought he was doing that as an actor to get more camera time.
Well, then there's that. Yes. Well, yeah, but you have to remember this is Americans would have thrown it into a fireplace.
Yep.
He was actually burning them in a place where he could get his face on camera. In America, when he burns something, he has to turn his face away.
Right. Yeah.
And therefore, that's a problem for any American actor. Just see how they go through doorways. Just see how they exit through a doorway sometimes.
Right, backwards. Yes, backwards. Exactly.
You ever seen any American actor actually intentionally go through a door forward? It doesn't happen.
If they're running.
Yeah, if they're running.
From a killer or something, maybe.
But even then, he would turn to get the last word in.
Look over his shoulder, of course.
Look over his shoulder. Yeah,
Is he still running after me?
I just, am I still in danger? Yes, you are.
Oh, and we didn't even mention the opening. The very first 3 seconds, I was like, yes, 'cause the sounds were amazing.
Oh yeah, just the creature,
just the cello or whatever that was.
Just awesome.
Which obviously that evolved a lot over there's been like over 25 sequels or something.
I have to say this. I have to say if you have seen the Raymond Burr version, which is the common American version.
That's the one I ever saw. Yep.
If you have seen that, you have to see this. This will tickle you just at how much deeper and how much more of a. My wife goes like this. My wife goes, I can't watch this anymore. And I say, well, why? And she goes, well, I'm used to just I'm used to Godzilla just stomping through towns.
Yeah.
And then cutting back to Raymond Burr, and then stomping through more town, and then cutting back to Raymond Burr. And she says, I'm not at all ready for all this really heavy going on.
Well, if any of the sequels too, they're all pretty light and
right.
You can definitely see it's a guy in a rubber suit in the sequels.
The great yes, but you know what? Even in the pure Japanese sequels, there is always a very strong ecological connection between Godzilla and whatever current manifestation of ecology is going on, right?
Yeah.
But that's not part of the American version of any of them.
No, and actually, I do like the Japanese versions better generally, anyway. And I've always been a Godzilla fan. But this actually, I was like, this is so much better than what I remembered of Godzilla, the first one.
It is infinitely better. And I might say that I had another film that I was watching this evening for the show. And it made, I swear, this made that look even sillier than it was. If that was humanly possible.
Well, this was silly. I mean, I don't know. If you look at the special effects and you look at it, they were kind of cheesy, but I think at the time it could have been scary for a 1954 audience, maybe, to see he had the spicy food and he was melting things.
That's a spicy meatball.
But you know, all the trouble that the models that they went through,
the models were unbelievable.
The models were unbelievable, and the guy in the rubber suit, going through them is what he says.
I want that job.
you have to remember how they made that suit back then.
Yeah.
They didn't have a lot. They didn't have a lot of rubber, and so a lot of that suit was concrete. So that suit was actually made out of cements and concrete and that sort and plasters in order to get those textures and stuff. And so the suit weighed something like between 80 and 100 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you think that he wasn't nimble and very quick, it's just amazing he raised his arms.
Well, I hope they had really good fire insurance too, because I was like looking at the fire scenes and I'm like, that's like inside probably where they shot this. I'm like, there's a lot of fire going on.
Yeah, but I think that in just Japanese versions, there's been 3 actors since 54 that have.
And there was an actor. This was shot at the same time that Seven Samurai was being shot.
Yeah.
And there was an actor that was in this and that one.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Takashi
the old man.
Shimura, I think it's the older guy.
The older guy, yeah, absolutely. The thing is, if you don't recognize him, and I might say that his acting does stand out above everybody else.
Well, Seven Samurai. If you haven't seen that, you need to see that.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But he brings such a gravitas to the role. I mean, that people are doing bad when he comes on.
Yeah, absolutely.
What the fuck?
Yeah, just.
He doesn't like the Americans.
Well, I'm curious to know if he was shooting this like the same exact time, like he had to do both. One day he's doing this in a samurai costume, the next minute he's like talking about Godzilla. That might be kind of weird, but
Yeah.
I know they shot the same year, so had to have been around the same time.
Yeah, well, there you go.
One thing that really struck me was, I've seen a lot of those videos of kind of the aftermath of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the people in the hospitals, and like I think they could have almost taken this a little step farther and had people's faces melted from the dinosaur or from the Godzilla. But that might have been too much. But the scenes looked exactly like those newsreels. It was like
they really did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's now here's the thing. You have to admit, it's not like they didn't know what death and destruction looked like.
Yeah.
It's like their art director. All they had to do was find an art director that was like, in his 30s or 40s, and he had the whole thing down. So yeah, no, it is a stunning piece of work, and I don't think that I thought it was kind of funny because I thought, really, Godzilla is in the Criterion collection. I seriously, I thought, Criterion collection, really? And then when I saw it, and I thought, oh, well, this isn't the Raymond Burr one. And then I just get into it, and you're like, oh my God, because this is a message film.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
And the message is still super strong. It's right there,
It's like if they banned Citizen Kane in Sweden, and this Swedish guy decided to take Citizen Kane and re-edit it and put himself in it.
Exactly. That's exactly
it
what
would probably
happened.
turn up like. That's a weird example. That's all I could come up with. Sorry.
I have to say that my only 5-star movie, as far as I know, would have had to have been not Blazing Saddles, but Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein.
And I have to put this up there at a 4.9 because I've always liked Godzilla, but watching this one, it was just.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to actually. I'm going to buy this one for sure.
Yeah,
I want to have it.
And by the way, looking at this one, doesn't it just make you feel sad that we're still making them?
Yeah.
And they're terrible.
Well,
and they're terrible.
What's sad is I actually still enjoy the newer ones, but not as much as like this one.
And honest to God, I have not enjoyed the new one.
And I was like, hey, we should do the Godzilla versus Kong.
Kong was good. The most recent Kong on Skull Island.
Yes, I like that one too.
That was a really good movie.
So that's why I was curious about this next. The King. Well, actually, it just came out today, I think, or Wednesday. This past Wednesday.
You know what? We're gonna check that out. And we're gonna get back to you on it.
Well, I need to rate this one.
All of you. Yeah, you need to rate it. I'm going for a 4.9.
It sounded like you were going to wrap up the show, and I'm like, come on, man, I got to.
I am going to wrap up.
No, I like the whole story was amazing because it's like an atomic bomb that's walking through it's a walking atomic bomb, and it's the whole allegory with the Americans and all that other stuff that's going on, and the technology, like horrible things that people can do with technology, and the fact that the scientists wanted to die to try to protect people.
And the fact that it was a political message,
yes,
that it was absolutely a political message being made right there.
And then I see how the Americans screwed me over by re-editing the fucking thing and make it look like and then I thought it was just kind of a marginal movie. And then now I find out it's a fucking amazing movie. And I do have one question, though. How did we not see other creatures in the ocean die? Because if it took all the oxygen, wouldn't all the fish die too? But anyway, that's only one little problem I had. But so I give it a 4.9 as well, but I take out that 10th of a point because of I didn't see any other things die in the ocean. Because it didn't make sense, and that's the only thing I was questioning. Not the only thing.
That reason,
it makes sense to have a giant thing with,
I can see the artistic license and going, Godzilla's gone, and just as the sea just rises with all kinds of dead fish, dude. That's kind of anticlimactic.
That would have been kind of cool.
Climactics.
You have to get the ecological message in there too.
I got an ecological.
Oh well.
Kong was good. The most recent Kong on Skull Island.
Yes, I like that one too.
That was a really good movie.
So that's why I was curious about this next. The King. Well, actually, it just came out today, I think, or Wednesday.
We got
this past
we gotta,
Wednesday.
You know what? We're gonna check that out. We're gonna check that out, and we're gonna get back to you on it. All of you.